we are going to see about a small introduction of electromagnetic theory. So electromagnetic theory covers the basic principle of electrostatics, magnetostatics, electrodynamics, okay, Maxwell's equations and radiation and propagation of electromagnetic waves. Why electromagnetic theory is needed? Electromagnetic theory is essential for understanding the device and system used for electrical energy for both electric and magnetic field defined in terms of force they produced. Who created the electromagnetic waves? In 1887, Heinrich Hertz was a German scientist who is proved the existence of electromagnetic wave and also theoretically proved by Maxwell. The fundamental, already we know that the fundamental law of electrostatics is Coulomb law, yes? So Coulomb law is the force of attraction or repulsion between any two charges is directly proportional to the product of the charge and directly proportional to the product of the charge and inversely square of distance between them. So F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Okay. Here we know that the relation between F and Q, F is equal to QE. Using the formula, we can easily derive the Gauss law. Okay. Consider a point charge at the origin enclosed in a sphere of radius r, then the electric flux in a closed surface of a sphere of radius r, then E is substituted from the Coulomb force. Okay, we know that F value, so F by Q equal to E. Okay, so F is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square divided by Q. So 1 Q is cancelled. So E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. Here D is substituted in spherical polar coordinate. Therefore R square sin theta d theta d phi. Then integrate. The constant is taken outside. Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R square getting cancelled. So integral of sin theta d theta, integral of d phi. So the limit is 0 to pi, 0 to 2 pi. So Q pi 4 pi epsilon naught. Very good. Cos theta 0 to pi, pi 0 to 2 pi. Substitute the limit. 4 pi epsilon naught. Cos pi is minus 1 minus lower limit 0. So upper limit. So here minus. Okay. So minus 1 then 2 pi. Therefore Q pi 4 pi epsilon naught 2 into 2 pi. So 4 pi cancel, we get Q pi epsilon naught. So the closed integral of E dot dl is equal to Q by epsilon naught. This is the Gauss law in electrostatics. Okay. Consider using Gauss law, we can calculate the electric field in a given system. For example, consider a long cylinder. Let us consider a long cylinder of length is L. Okay, radius is R. Let us calculate the electric field in a long cylinder. The charge density is proportional to the charge density rho is proportional to the distance from the axis. So the distance from the axis is r. Okay. So rho is equal to kr. K is proportionality constant. Then write Gauss law. Gauss law is integral of E dot dl is equal to q by epsilon naught. Okay. So E is taken outside. So E integral of dA. dA equal to q means total charge enclosed in a surface. Total charge enclosed in a surface. Therefore, integral of rho d tau by epsilon naught. Okay. Here rho is kr. Here rho is kr. Then d tau is substituted in a cylindrical coordinate. Therefore, r dr d phi dz. Then integrate k integral r square dr integral d phi integral dz. Z is in x-axis length, total length is L. Phi is 0 to 2 pi, 0 to r. Then integrate k r square is r cube by 3, limit 0 to r. Then phi is d phi is phi, 0 to 2 pi. Z is dz is z, 0 to L. Therefore, k r cube by 3 phi 2 pi, so substitute the limit into L. Okay. In this side, E integral of dA is A. Integral of dA is A. A is the curved surface area of the cylinder. Substitute the curve. What is the curved surface area of the cylinder? 2 pi RL. Therefore, E equal to K R cube by 3 2 pi L by 2 pi RL. LL cancel, 2 pi cancel, R cancel. Therefore, E is equal to K R square by 3 into R cap. So, this is the electric field in a long cylinder. The charge density is proportional to the distance from the axis. This is the one of the application of Gauss law. Already we know that work done is stored as a energy. So, let us calculate something. Work done, W is equal to integral of half rho V into d tau. We know that the differential form of Gauss law is del dot E is equal to rho by epsilon naught. From that, rho is epsilon naught del dot E. Substitute the rho value here, half integral epsilon naught del dot E V into d tau. Using the vector identity, we can substitute in this place. We know that del of V dot E equal to V into del dot E plus E into del V. Okay. So, here del dot E into V is, so the above term is replaced by half. Okay. Epsilon naught is constant taken outside. So, epsilon naught by 2 integral of del dot E V is replaced by del of V dot E minus E into del V into d tau. Listen, V is the potential, E is the electric field. We know the potential value and the electric field. Then taking the cross product afterwards, it will integrate. It gives the first term integral value is 0. So, here the second term is epsilon naught by 2 integral of minus E into E del V into d tau. We know the relation between E and electric field and potential is E equal to minus del V. Yes. So, del V is replaced by minus E. Okay. Del V is replaced by minus. Therefore, epsilon naught by 2 integral of E square into d tau. Okay. So, the work done stored in a continuous charge distribution is 1 by 2 integral of epsilon naught E square into tau. Okay. So the work done on a continuous charge distribution equal to half into rho v. The quantity of half epsilon naught E square is the energy density stored in a electric field. So the basic fundamental law in magnetostatics, the basic fundamental law in magnetostatics is Biot-Savart law. So a charge particle Q moves in a velocity v in a magnetic field. It experiences the magnetic force experienced by a charge particle Q is F is equal to Q into V cross B. This is called the Lorentz force. Okay. So the force of attraction between the any two current element, the current element having the current I1 and I2, okay, the force between the two current element, current element is proportional to the product of the current element and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. That is the Biot-Savart law. Biot-Savart law B equal to proportional to the B is proportional to the proportionality factor is removed by mu pi 4 pi epsilon naught integral of IDL by R square into R cap. Okay. Using Biot-Savart law, we can derive the Ampere's law. Next one is Ampere's law. From the Biot-Savart law, Biot-Savart law is B is equal to mu naught by 4 pi integral of I cross R cap by R square into dl. Applying curl on both sides. Therefore, del cross B equal to mu naught by 4 pi integral of del cross I cross R cap by R square into dl. The above term is expanded using the vector quantity. We know that del cross A cross B is equal to A into del dot B minus A dot del into B. Here del dot I cross R cap by R square. A is I, del dot B is R cap by R square minus A is I dot del B is R cap by R square. So the above quantity is replaced by the using vector identity. Yes, first one is integral of I into del dot R cap by R square minus R cap by R square into dl. So calculate the above integral value. That integral value is 0. Remaining we get mu naught by 4 pi integral of I into del dot R cap by R square into dl. The divergence of this quantity is 0 everywhere except at the origin. Okay. In mathematical term, del dot R cap by R square is integral of del dot R cap by R square into dl equal to 4 pi. Okay. So if we replace this value by 4 pi, therefore mu naught by 4 pi I into 4 pi. 4 pi getting cancelled. We get del cross B equal to mu naught I. Okay. This is the differential form of Ampere's law. The integral form of Ampere's law is integral of B dot dl equal to mu naught I. That means the line integral of the magnetic field enclosed in a loop. The line integral of the magnetic field enclosed in a loop is equal to mu naught times the current passing through the same loop. Okay. So integral of B dot dl is equal to mu naught I. Next one is Faraday law. Okay. So Faraday law is, it states that the magnitude of the circulation of electric field is equal to the rate of change of magnetic field enclosed by the surface. Okay. The magnitude of the circulation of electric field is equal to rate of change of magnetic field enclosed by the same. Next one is Maxwell equations. There are 4 fundamental equations in electrodynamics. They are, one is del dot D equal to rho, second one is del dot B equal to 0, third one is del cross B equal to minus dou B by dou T equal to, then fourth one is del cross H is equal to J plus dou D by dou T. This is the Gauss law in electrostatics, Gauss law in magnetostatics, Faraday law, Ampere's law. Okay. What is the meaning of Maxwell's equations? So the first one is Gauss law. Okay. So the electric flux across the closed, the electric flux across the closed loop is equal to total charge enclosed by the loop. Okay. The electric flux in a closed loop is equal to, the electric flux in a closed loop is equal to total charge enclosed in the surface. But in magnetic field enclosed in a closed loop is equal to 0. Third one is the time varying magnetic field. Time varying magnetic field is produced the electric field. The time varying electric field produces the magnetic field. Okay. So this is the 4 Maxwell's equations. Using this equation, we can calculate the boundary condition on E, B, D, H. Okay. The first boundary condition is D1 normal, D2 normal equal to sigma. That means first boundary condition is D1 normal, D2 normal equal to the normal component of the electric field is discontinuous at the surface by the amount of sigma. Okay. The normal component of the electric field is discontinuous at the boundary by the amount of sigma, but in the normal component of magnetic field is continuous at the boundary, but the tangential component of the electric field is also continuous at the boundary, but the tangential component of the H is discontinuous at the boundary by the amount of K. Okay. So these are all the boundary condition on E, B, D, H. So there are in electrodynamics there are 2 potentials. One is scalar potential, another one is vector potential. They are defined by the term B equal to del cross A, E equal to minus del V minus dou A by dou T. Here A is called the vector potential, V is called the scalar potential. These are the mathematical, the 2 potentials are the mathematical functions which are not physically measurable. Okay, thank you.